Tim Onlu goes over a tenth of a second fast.
Well, hello everybody and welcome back to round 5 of season 9 of the Formula Premier Series. And it is time for the Master Split here at the Lioneers British Grand Prix, powered by HB Tuners. We had an eventful if quiet Challenger split, mainly due to the only 9 drivers that showed up, but now we've got a full grid of the best in Assetto Corsa sim racing. And well, here at Silverstone, going out of the wrong pit lane, it's sure to be one to watch. On board with Mustafa Moradi at the moment, your championship leader, as he works his way around, just trying to gauge where it all is at the moment. My name is Ross McIntyre. Joining me here on the cams and the comps is Ligo and Kilgore Trout. How you doing, Kilgore?
Hi everyone, how's it going?
It's a pleasure to have you alongside me as always. And well, as I mentioned, if you weren't here to watch the Challenger split race, you'll be intrigued to see what's about to happen, because what's about to happen is Moradi is going to cross the finish line here and it's going to set a new time. That's because we're going out of the old pit lane today. I don't know how, but some people have worked some magic and jigs about with the game files, and essentially the start line is now at the old pit lane, even though we're running the full circuit. So it's like you're back in 2010 again, basically, except with the Formula Hybrid 2021 from the lovely guys over at Racing Studios, based on the 2021 Formula 1 regulations. It's currently Moradi on provisional pole. That onboard lap was absolutely stonking, a 127.097, almost into the 126s already. That is a very, very competitive lap time to start off with. And well, Moradi, well, he's a phenomenal driver, leading the Drivers' Championship at the moment. And actually, no, he's not. Apologies, he's behind from Tarek Batata. I do apologise. I forgot the last race happened to Azerbaijan. Moradi would be leading, but he DNF'd the last one, so it's now Tarek Batata leading the Drivers' Championship. But Tarek's only set a 2:29 yet, so he hasn't been pushing. There is your race winner last time out, though, Steven Stevenson for Oxtan, taking their first win this season and his first win in Formula Trial after only 2 events, 2 rounds with the team. And I mean, Kilgore, he's your driver, it's your team, you must be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I knew the guy was hot talent when I signed him, but it was a long time coming. Admittedly, there's a few hiccups, not potentially Stephen's fault. We have a bit of an incident going into the new old pit entry. But yeah, I knew he had a lot of energy kind of pent up, so he just had to go out there and perform without anyone holding him up, really.
Well, 2 races and a race win to his name. Not bad going, so he's already getting off to a good start to his new life over at Oxtan Racing, and part of the Oxygen program as well. Just under 13 minutes left to go here in this qualifying session, so plenty of time for driver to set a new fast lap, but it is currently Mustafa Moradi, the new hot shot, or well, not the new hot shot, the hot shot rather, who's been here a season and a half at this point. Currently with provisional pole, David Halligan with his new team DHF1, currently P2. He's already got some decent results this season, a podium to his name at the first race, and a 5th in Bahrain as well. But 2 DNFs in the last 2 rounds, and of course the abandoned round at Hockenheim, which we didn't really do, that'll be taking place in 2 weeks' time instead. Jan Dragoon as well, another Younger GP driver in P4. The Younger GP guys have been absolutely unbelievable this season. They have streaked ahead in the championship. I can't even describe. I got my main man, Case Finhams, to send me more championship grass again. And Younger GP have just left, basically. I don't really know how to describe it. It's quite incredible. They've just left. So there's that.
Yeah,
but yeah,
not to cut across, but it would be interesting to see if some kind of internal team battle ends up happening. I mean, they're both very strong drivers. I know Jan's just had maybe just not the best of starts to the season, but yeah, I mean, they've got a strong pairing at Younger. But I wouldn't rule out the other teams. Maybe it's just been a weird start to the season. I mean, you know, Baku was crazy. You know, we've had some really interesting results that you wouldn't necessarily, wouldn't predict this straight off the bat. David Halligan getting the podium in Australia. You know, I wouldn't rule anyone out.
Absolutely, here's a driver you can't rule out either, who's gone to regional pole, Andreas Schilder, our season 7 champion. He's been doing only every other round so far this season, but he's turning up and looking to put on a good show here at Silverstone, of course. Andreas is one of the most he's actually the second most successful driver in Formula Trout history, so not too bad going there. And with one championship to his name and 13 race wins in the Premier Series, or in the Master Split rather, so yeah, not too bad. And he's currently putting Giovanni on more, and that's a big surprise. Giovanni, one of the front runners that Challenger Split last year, and yeah, really great to see him up there. Get his speed trap. Oh wow, 323.3 kilometers an hour at the speed trap. Moratti goes 5/10 faster into the 125.8. Now that times are really starting to tumble now as the drivers really start to hit. Oh, a slow moving car coming into Magnussen Beckett. Dragoon goes second.
Oh, that's what you want to see.
The front row. Younger GP 1-2 for the time being, but again, still 9 minutes left in this qualifying session, so can't guarantee you that. Felipe Olsen for Volpina Racing now comes to the line. Where does he go? Goes to P5 for the 126.877. You know, that's a second off of Moratti. That's how quick Moratti's been this season. Agnes Rositis, reigning Challenger Split champion, looking to get things moving. Hasn't really set a truly competitive lap yet. A 129.385. I think he's just trying to test the limits of the grip. And we've got a few drivers who've put in some great laps so far. And Tommy Ielitalo as well in P8. Good showing for him so far. He's got 3 race wins to his name as well.
Who? Tommy Ielitalo?
Yeah.
No. Wait, no. Has he?
Yeah.
Previously.
Lost.
In the past?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
This was the.
Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
This was I was given a list of people who were like the top 10 race winners, and he's on it with 3 wins.
I mean, I'm not doubting that, to be honest. My memory doesn't serve me well. He's from yesteryear.
I mean, Moratti is now in that top 10. To put it into perspective, the guy's been in the guy won his first race at the 10th round last season out of 12, and he's already 10th on that list.
Yeah,
of most wins. Yeah, the bright things for that young man in the future. And there's some big names in here as well. You know, Jaap Wagenvoor's got 4. Max Hammerlink, of course, he's got 8 in the championship last year. And I'm not seeing him out on track tonight, but that's a very expected kind of trend in Formula Trout. You win a championship and essentially have an off year because of the amount of effort that goes in really to winning a championship, and because you're basing it around your real life, this isn't your job. It's sensible to just have an off year just to recover. We've only ever had one back-to-back champion in Trout history, and that was Paul Magzire, won 2 in a row, and he's got 8 race wins to his name as well. But yeah, as I was mentioning before I got into this, Maxi Younger, team boss over at Younger GP, 21 wins and 4 championships to his name. 2 Premier Series titles, a Sprint Series title, and a Codemasters title from way back in the day. Not bad going at all for him. Sam Ward, who came in this season, won the first race of the Challenger Split, and then immediately got a Volpino Arxco seat. Let's see what I was about to say. Let's see what he can do, because I forgot we weren't using this pit lane, but we're not using this pit lane, so we've still got half a lap to go. I'm gonna keep doing that all race long. See, the thing is, as well, as I was before this, I did a 4-hour endurance at Silverstone when we used the other pit lane.
We don't make it easy for people. We always try and just shake up the formula and just confuse everyone as much as possible. Andreas Schilder's gone purple in the first 2 sectors.
Wow, here we go then, Andreas Schilder.
Yeah, I started following Samuel Ward because he set purple in the first sector, but yeah, Andreas is all that way. So let's see what Ward can hold when he comes on the last corner.
Well, let's see, Sam Ward goes to second with a 126.289 for Volpino Arxco. Great lap there. What can Schilder do though? Where is Schilder? Oh, he goes to pole, yeah.
Yeah.
125.652, my goodness me. That is an amazing lap. That is an amazing lap. My goodness me, you can see why this guy's won a championship before, can't you?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Muradi goes fastest in the first sector, but yeah, Andreas is faster in the second. Let's see what he can do in the final sector.
Indeed. Still 5 minutes left to go in this qualifying session as well. It is all hotting up, to say the least. As Muradi comes now into the penultimate corner at Brooklands, turns in. Wow, look how planted the front end of that car is. Just turns in and it just sticks. My goodness me, that thing is absolutely flying. Comes to the line now. What's going to be? Overtake button firmly pressed. 125.630. It's provisional pole by hundredths of a second. Jan Dragoon, his teammate, let's see what he can do as he goes to the line. It's not going to be quite on the same pace, but it will be third.
That is
close. 120, didn't him? Yeah, 125.797. It is very, very tight up the top. Wow, that is yeah, that's very close. Gustavo Dalla Valle, meanwhile, he was a challenger split. Well, he did pretty well in half a challenge split, and then found his way into the master split last season. Sat out the early part of this year, and now is now over at Bag Motorsports, the challenger split champions from last season, to partner Giovanni Amorim, and he's pulling into the pits.
He was up on his times there, so that's interesting to see. Maybe he just knew it's now or never regarding putting a fresh set of boots on.
Potentially. Yeah, great to see Giovanni Amorim at P4 as well. That would be his best qualifying of the year so far. Very, very good lap time. 126.1. Dave Southern, meanwhile, he's 1.3 down on Mustafa Muradi's fastest at that second. This could be an in-lap, though, because he doesn't seem to be pushing particularly hard.
Maybe, yeah. Everyone's lining up now, ready to do their final lap, really.
Of course they are. It's well, it's going to be interesting to see 19 cars on the grid. The 2 cars down the bottom. One is our camera car, one is our live steward car, who might come and go as he pleases. He does that sometimes. So it's all to play for. With 3 minutes left on the clock, and they're all coming out of the pit lane now. Let's hope they don't get in the way, shall we? And as well, we start to get moving. Who's going to get pole position here for round 5 of the Formula Truck Premier Series Master Split here at Silverstone with the wrong pit lane?
I'm never going to get used to it.
I mean, I like it. I was saying to Alex the entire last race, I love the old pit lane. I love having cops as a first corner. I think it's great, but you know, at the same time, it's just like I'm trying to wrap my head around it. It's a big ask. But we'll press on anyway. Nonetheless, Toby Sanford on an outlap, I believe. He's got some time to make up, but I'm sure he'll be plenty confident in that car. I'm sure he'll be looking to massively improve, and of course, he is typically a driver that goes forward in the races as well. Heads onto the Hangar Straight, DRS wide open. That's the Wellington Straight, apologies. Again, track's the wrong way around. And coming around Luffield now. Let's see what he can do. He's going to have one shot at this. Let's see if he can rise higher. Then P17 crosses the line to start his flying lap. Rounds cops flat out in qualifying trim in these cars. On board with Sanford now into Magnussen Beckett. Don't lift. Don't lift. A little bit wide through Beckett, but that's allowed him to get a nice little entry into the third part chapel. Very nice. Could use a bit more curb on the exit, but that again allows him to slingshot round onto the main straight. Now heading down the hanger stretch. Hogging on the brakes to Stowe. Use the camber of the corner to get the car in. Don't touch the Astro on the exit because it'll spit you out. Braking for Club Chicane or Vale. It's supposed to be done. Oh, and he's locked up there. Oh, he's going for another lap. That's why. Oh, I thought it was on a hot lap then. So yeah. That's why he's left time on the table.
Andrea Schilder.
Valley's pushing though.
I think Andrea Schilder might have peaked too soon. Unless he can do another lap, he's just set the fastest last sector. Yeah, he's coming to the pit, so that's his qualified number.
Done.
Let's roll.
Dalla Valley done.
Sorry to swap over to Steve Stevenson, but he seems to be on a hot one.
You're on the cameras, mate. Honestly, being against bit of wheel spin coming out of Vale through Club. Could have been a bit tighter there, but allow him to slingshot and get the momentum into Abbey now. Flat out once again in qualifying chip. Just turn in and watch the car stick. These things have so much downforce. It is unbelievable. 6/10 off in the first sector, but it's not bad going. That will be an improvement. Bear in mind that wobble coming out of Vale. Brilliant through the loop. That was an amazing line through there. Onto the Wellington straight now. DRS open. Overtake button. Press to the floor. The checkered flag will be out in 5 seconds time. Brooklyn's turning. Ooh, bit of a wobble. Rear end's a bit loose, but it was pretty stuck through there overall. Gets the car turning for Luffield. Checkered flag is out. Muradi's done. Schilder's done. Dragoon's done. Batata's done. What can Stevenson do? Comes to the line. Goes into P9, a 126.420. Great lap there. Alex Cochrane also on a flying lap with his new team at Griffin Gaming. He's only 3/10 down through the middle sector. Let's see what he can do. Alex has had he's had a podium this season, to be fair, with his new team, currently third in the championship. Let's see if he can continue his improvement with Griffin Gaming. Heads down the Wellington straight, 2 corners to go. Brakes super late, gets the car. Oh, could have been a bit tighter, but allows itself to slingshot in quite wide, but it'll again cut back in for Luffield. Many aligned to that corner, so it's all okay. Now the shortest run to the line. What's it going to be for Alex Cochrane?
Ooh,
goes
good.
to P5, a 126. Dead almost. That's a very, very good lap for Alex Cochrane. Tarek Batata's done. Tommy Olitalo for Golf Racing Club. What can he do as he comes on? He's currently P9 at the moment. Can he improve? No, he cannot. He does improve in his time. Actually, no, he does. He goes to P8. Jumps to Tarek Batata. And I think that is about it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So it will be Mustafa Muradi on pole, just from Andreas Schilder, those two. Or is Muradi on a lap? I think Muradi might be on a lap, because that looks like he's pushing.
I think it's an in-lap. I don't know. I think it's an in-lap. I don't think he didn't make it to the line in time, and then he came back out, so I'm not... Yeah. I was watching him on the Delta, so this is potentially... yeah, not going to count. Doesn't matter anyway, he's got pole.
He's got pole, but let's see what he can do anyway if he comes to the line.
It's worth mentioning, Tommy Olitalo outperforming the main team up can. Great performance from him. Alex Cochrane, he is capable of a fast lap, don't get me wrong, but it's good to see him up in 5th. Hopefully he'll be able to support Andreas. But Andreas is a tall order being sandwiched between both younger cars.
Oh, it seems like Junior GP have very much picked up where Vermin Racing left off last season. And it's a 1-3 for Muradi and Dragoon with your Season 7 champion, Andrea Schilder, sandwiched in between. To round out the top 3, and it's Cops turn 1. I mean, it's gonna be chaos. They don't have to say anything else. It's Cops corner as turn 1, and then you've got like Maggots and Beckett's immediately. I mean, do you have to say anything else? I don't think so. And well, in the meanwhile, Sam Ward lines up in P4. with a very, very nice lap. It's not Sam Ward in P4. I've been lied to. Apparently it's Jan... Nope, it is Sam Ward in P... What? Nope, the timing screen's having a moment. It is Sam Ward in P4. Got a bit confused then. But it is Mustafa Moradi who sits on the pole position. Look at that. It's 19 cars, 20 cars even. Nope, 19 cars on the grid for the Lioneers British Grand Prix, powered by HP Tuners. And well, this is going to be one interesting race, shall we say, if the Challenger split was anything to go off of. Bear in mind, they only had 9 cars in the field. And when you bear in mind that this is the best of the best at Assetto Corsa sim racing, it's quite an interesting prospect, isn't it? We just have to wait and see what they can do when the lights go out and into Copse Corner, the old turn 1. Apart from today, where it is turn 1 once more. And as we wait for the lights to come on, lights out, we're underway here for the Master Split at Silverstone. It's a brilliant start from Moradi. Dragoon behind gets away well. I think that was Alex Cochrane getting a very good start from 5th on the grid, but he's been shafted away by Giovanni Amorum on the inside, all clean through Copse Corner. And is that Dragoon trying to have a look on Schilder, but he can't do anything. Moradi leads, Schilder slightly wide, coming into Maggots and Beckett. And all clean behind for the time being. No contact anywhere to be seen. That is great to see. And Sanford making up a few places there. We've got Southern making a few places. But in the top 10, it is all the same. Oh, Giovanni Amorum actually lost out a few places there. I think he just got held up a little bit coming into Maggots and Beckett. It is a very tricky corner. Salvage your opening section, and there goes Alex Cochrane on the inside. He had Dragoon up into P3. That was, I believe, that was Tommy Ilatalo as well, trying to go up the inside of Tarek Batata there. Moradi leads into Abbey halfway round through the modern start-finish straight. And Moradi is absolutely trying to bolt away from Schilder. Alex Cochrane holds P3, so it's a Griffin 2-3 at the moment. It is Younger GP, Griffin, Younger GP. Sam Ward in P5 doing a great job as well. Giovanni Amorum back up to P6. Olsen is in P5 now, apparently. I think the timing screen's having a moment. Yes, it is. So Moradi leads. It's not enjoying itself on the left-hand side. But it is Mustafa Moradi who will come to the line first to lead lap 1 here at Silverstone. And as they all come round now, Moradi from Schilder, from Cochrane, from Dragoon, Amorum, Olsen, Batata, Ilatalo, Stevenson, Dave Southern, rounding out. Look at the gap that Moradi's got already. That is damn near a second. He is absolutely flying at the moment. And the young Iranian continues to show that he is not to be messed with. He is the up-and-comer. Or rather, should we say that he has very much arrived in Formula Trout. There is Tarek Batata. I did lie earlier. He's actually leading the championship at the moment. But not if they finish as they do at the moment. Toby Sanford up to P13 already. David Halligan dropping down to P12. Not the start that he would have wanted. Jordi Lawis as well. Really rough start for him. Down to P18. Really not going the way for some of these drivers. I think Gustavo Dalla Valle may have had a half spin as well. He's down in 19th at the moment. There is Jan Dragoon, who'll be desperate to make that place back up from Alex Cochrane at P3. Turning into the loop now. Slightly wider line from Cochrane. That means he'll be able to get a bigger boost and a bigger launch out onto the Wellington Straight. And on the run into Lafu DRS will be enabled after this lap, but of course you can only get it if you're within 1 second of the car in front. And here is someone who's definitely within 1 second of the car in front, as Agnes Rositis and Jordi Lawis swapping places there. Oh no, Sam Ward, apologies. It was Agnes Rositis trying to get past Sam Ward, but now Jordi Lawis is trying to look past Mustafa Moradi at 128.570 with the fastest lap there. And there is action all over the pack here as we head on to lap 3. DRS now enabled here at Silverstone. And wow, what a count, what a shot that is. Just look at all the cars flying from Copse down into Maggots and Beckett and Chapel. That is a screensaver if I've ever seen one. David Halligan, not the start he would have wanted. Down to P12, we wanted to improve from there. In the slipstream of in front, Simon Benoit does have the DRS, but not close to doing anything. Dragoon is close to Cochrane. Again though, just not quite close enough. Czech driver just biding his time. He's very patient, very quick and yet very patient is Jan Dragoon. And yeah, I'm sure he is more than happy just to bide his time and wait for Alex to do his own thing. Here's Felipe Olsen in the Volcano car. P7 chasing down Tarek Batata. Into the loop they head. Again, some of the drivers preferring a wider line through the left-hander there at the loop. It just allows you to get a better launch out of the corner, just better momentum, get down the traction easier because the wheels are spinning faster already because you're carrying that extra speed. So you can get a faster line through the Wellington Straight, but you know, pros and cons to each different line. Silverstone is a track where there are multiple lines through multiple different corners that you can take. I mean, Cops, for example, I mean, there's one line through Cops, but in corners like Chapel, you can kind of multiple lines. The Loop especially, there is definitely more than one line through there. Luffield as well, Brooklands. Another brilliant camera shot on what is personally the greatest stretch of racetrack in the world from Luffield down to Stowe. It is such a blast to drive, and there is Jan Dragoon trying to blast it around the outside of Alex Cochrane, hanging around the outside of Stowe corner. He's going to get the inside line into the Vale chicane. On the brakes, Cochrane slightly later. Can he hang around the outside? He does! Great defending there from Alex Cochrane. It was an aggressive move from Jan Dragoon. Oh, big wobble from Dragoon as he tries to get the power down as well. And now he's going to go defensive because Giovanni Amorim trying to go around the outside of Abbey. That's a move that will not work, should not work. He's going to have to go straight on and he will lose positions to Batata as well. Felipe Olsen as well squeezed up the inside to Amorim. Tried to take an opportunistic move, didn't end up working. And now he's trying to desperately hold it to P6 from Felipe Olsen. Oh! Was there contact there?
It did look like it. Maybe there's a ping issue. Obviously, Giovanni's all the way over in Brazil. It's not going to help him.
Yeah, of course. This being it's that wide. My goodness me!
Oh no!
Oh, there's contact. Where's Giovanni? That was contact with Giovanni Amorim.
I think he's okay. He might have lost a few places. It's been a very costly lap for Giovanni.
Pretty wide coming out of Brooklands. That is just something that does not happen, and we have just seen it. My goodness me, Steven Stevenson has taken full advantage of that to move up to P7. Your race winner last time out for Octan, making moves in the race. As we've come to expect from the Octan drivers, there are a pair of guys who just move forward in races. Toby Sanford already making place up as well. He's up to P12. Tarek Batata meanwhile, P5. Dragoon though, focusing his sights back in front, focusing his sights on Griffin car of Alex Cochrane. And they say that you can't stop the cock, and at the moment that is very much true because Dragoon just is not able to find a way around. As they are working their way through, and again, oh, that was very deep from Dragoon. Just did not brake late enough, I don't think. And again, that was actually too wide to get the momentum. He's got the DRS, but so does Batata. Batata's going to try and follow him with the toe. Pulls to the outside. Does he try and hang around the outside of Brooklands? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, Dragoon had to defend, well, long dirty air. I don't know, what's the term? Mine's gone blank. But essentially, he didn't have to defend that position, but he lost a bit of time there.
Indeed, Andres Schilder, fastest lap of the race, 128.521. Maybe starting to close the gap to Moradi in front. Starting to get to the point where we might want to be thinking about... Oh, he's just cut Chapel though.
We'll pretend we didn't see that.
No, I mean, we're not stewards. I mean, are you a steward? I don't actually know. You own the league, but you don't actually... You let other people write it for you. Fair enough. Don't blame you. Yeah, that was definitely just going too fast through there. Oh, that's Agnes Rositis off the road! Coming out of Cobb's corner.
Dodgy there between him and I think Jordi
Dalla Valle, I think.
Oh, Dalla Valle, yeah, sorry, my bad, yeah, the other
Yeah, I believe the two teammates may have come together there. And Rositis DNFs. Agnes Rositis out of the race on lap 6, our first retirement from the Master Split. And Batata just hanging on to the back of Dragoon and Cochrane, the DAC driver. Won the worst race in Australia and is now looking to get further and further forward. He looks this way and that way, trying to find a gap. Dragoon is taking some very aggressive lines, very deep but very aggressive lines through some of the sweeping hairpins. Interesting to see the difference in driving styles. You know, even in sim it comes across superbly well. As they head into Maggotts and Beckett's, don't lift there. Okay, you might want to lift, maybe downshift now, and then Chapel. Oh, Cochrane misses the apex for Chapel there. Chapel, it's a very, very tricky corner because the apex is so early. And now Cochrane's having to defend from Dragoon, who's trying to the outside round Stowe again. This time wasn't quite alongside, but he's still got the momentum. Isn't spat out by the AstroTurf. Going to the outside, into the Vale chicane. Can he get on the brakes later? No, Cochrane slightly outbrakes himself, but will be able to hold on to that position. Yep, just parks it on the exit of the chicane. And Dragoon can only lift off and watch as he stays in P4 for the time being. And there is Dragoon. Look, he's desperately searching for a way past Cochrane. He knows he's faster than the Griffin driver, but just is not able to make the gap appear. Alex is superb at defending, and again, got cut across there, had to go deep. Now he's going to have to turn his attention behind to Tarek Batata, who's very, very close and will have the DRS. As they head down, does Dragoon defend? No, he doesn't. Batata actually further back than I realised. We go into lap 8, and oh, Batata's still poking a nose to the inside though around Luffield. That's a great move from Tarek Batata, but it's not done yet because Dragoon might be trying to have a look with the momentum. And the overtake button into Cobb's corner. He's weaving left, he's weaving right, but cannot make the gap appear. Tarek Batata moves up to P5 with a very smart, very sensible overtake round the inside of Luffield. And now Dragoon's got even more to do. Batata can focus his fights forward. He's been waiting patiently for the gap to appear, and it finally did appear when Dragoon went a little deep. And sorry, Kilgore.
I was just going to say the question. Oh, I was going to say, is Alex going to let Tarek through without any hesitance, as you just saw, because Alex technically owns the AC, so there's got to be some kind of interconnections going on here. At the end of the day, Tarek could win Alex the championship, so he's not going to hold him up. But I don't know how Alex's team boss, Christoph Duzer, will, like, I don't know, maybe there's some unwritten rules. Oh my god!
Dragoon round! Coming out of what would be turn 3 down a village, and falls almost out of the top 10. Oh, Dragoon just gives it a bootful, and round he goes. Oh, what a shame for Jan Dragoon. He's got it all to do now. He'll have damage to his front wing as well. Luckily, the pit lane is right there if he wants to bring it in for a pit stop. And yeah, you can see already visually how slow it's going. No, he stays out though. As you were saying though, yeah, Tarek Batata was definitely helped through there by Alex Cochrane, I like to believe.
He didn't put up a fight, did he?
No. I mean, I guess at that point it's what you have an allegiance to, the team you run or the team you drive for, and Alex Cochrane quite clearly showing where his allegiances lie in that scenario. Yeah, let's see what the Griffin team boss thinks after that. I mean, Andreas Schilder's running second, so it's fine. It's fine. It only becomes an issue when Tarek overtakes Andreas. That's when it becomes a problem. Meanwhile, Moradi's extended his gap in the lead up to 4 seconds now. He's Schilder looked like he was starting to close the gap, but now Moradi's returning fire. And now you've got to start to think about what strategy is going to be. In the Challenger split race, it was very much a one-stop C3 to C2 compound. Obviously, those yellow-walled, most medium tyres will have into one step harder onto the white-walled C2s to the end of the race, around about lap 15. Giovanni Amorm has dropped down to P8, bit of a wiggle as well, coming out of the loop. Big run on Southard. That was a very easy overtake, done but even before the braking point. Goes Giovanni Amorm, and maybe Simon Benoit trying to follow him as well around the outside. Yeah, I don't think the Southard's going to be too happy about losing 2 places in 2 corners. He manages to keep Benoit behind for the time being. Amorm just focuses his sights in front, We know he's a very, very talented driver, of course. Bag Motorsports were Challenger Split Constructors Champions last season. And they've really begun to stake their claim to why they do very much deserve to be in the Master Split. And Giovanni Morin currently running P7. It's a good showing. But he's now got Dave Southern on the attack behind him. Field beginning to spread out now. The race beginning just to calm down a little bit. Let me catch my breath and my voice before it breaks into a million pieces. And Giovanni Morin can just relax potentially a little bit, shall we say. There is Steven Stevenson in P6 for Oxtan. Closing on the back of Felipe Olsen. But it's one thing to catch the car in front, it is very much another thing to overtake them. We know that Olsen's a very fast driver. We know that the Volpino is a very fast car. It did win a race last year with Mustafa Moradi back with the RSS Formula Hybrid 2020, based off of the 2020 Formula 1 regulations. Of course, we grew up a bit and we're now using the Formula Hybrid 2021 from Racing Studios. No guesses for what set of regulations that's based off of. You can see there a big gap behind Steven Stevenson. 2 seconds, and Benoit looking to the inside of Dave Southern into Copse. We've seen races end there before, shall we say. I think we all know what I'm talking about there. Luckily though, no touching between wheels and no championship leader going face first into the barrier, while his main championship rival was essentially handed a race win. Not saying anything, of course. Moradi still leading this race. Gap is started to stabilise now. Around about 4 seconds. Batata a further 7 seconds back from Schilder. Alex Cochran though still maintaining that 2 second gap to Batata. So he's trying to follow, trying to stick with his team's lead driver. You can see Steven Stevenson just trying to pile on the pressure for Felipe Olsen. At this point you'd be starting to think, if I could pit now, if I go for an undercut, I might be able to jump the driver in front. Because Silverstone is a tricky track to overtake. You know, you get dive bombs and the like, but you know, even with Assetto Corsa's abysmal dirty air physics, it is such a high downforce circuit. It is very, very hard to follow another car around here. Bit of a wobble there for Stevenson on the exit of Luffield, just getting the power down. Great camera angle, isn't it? Look back and just see what's behind. There is Andreas Schilder, 4.5 back from Moradi.
Yeah, if you're Mustafa's age, you look back and there's no one behind.
Yeah, exactly. It is a long way back, and the young Iranian just relax out the front now. I mean, I say relax, of course he's going to be pushing like crazy. That's what he does. He just goes out and sets hot lap after hot lap, it would seem. But he can take it chill, take it easy. And now he can just focus, hitting his marks and bringing it to the end. Of course, still a pit stop yet to go. As we get a helmet cam there of Felipe Olsen and a drone cam, and now the T-cam on Felipe Olsen. Oh, sorry, I don't need to apologise. It's sim racing, we can get away with it. And again, Stevenson very close behind, slightly cleaner through there this time from the Oxtan driver. Less deep, much more composed.
You can tell that these drivers are just adapting and learning every lap. You know, they go a bit deeper one lap and wait, no, that's the limit. Next lap you see them a bit more conservative. Oh wait, actually I can go a bit more deeper again. It's a massive learning curve every race. You put in the practice, but even then, it's still nothing compares to being in the heat of the moment, like these two right now.
Exactly, of course, they'll have their engineer. Oh, that was really wide from Olsen, coming out of Cobb's corner. That's going to really affect him, coming through Maggots, Beckett and Chapel, and all the way down to Stowe. If Stevenson can stay with him out of Chapel, he will have DRS. He might be with a good chance down to Stowe, and yet he is there. He's going to have the overtake. He's got the DRS. You can see that letterbox in the rear wing opening. He's gaining. Does he go for the dive? No, he doesn't. Not quite close enough. Although he's now closer than he has ever been before. Of course, he'll have his engineer, which is Case Willems, unless I'm very much mistaken, in his ear, goading him on, telling him what's going on in the race. Just telling him, you know what, calm down, there's still a long way ahead of you. Still a long way to go, Steve. Just keep it chill, keep it cool. Let's go and get P5 from Felipe Olsen. And that is what he's trying to do. You can see just very calm and composed driving over the bumps of Abbey, which is a very bumpy corner, it must be said. Again, just look how smooth Stevenson is with the wheel. One of this influx of talented Americans that Formula Trout is having this season. And, well, back in the last season, actually, for Stevenson. But, you know, it's great to see drivers from all across the globe coming into Formula Trout and being successful. Really showing it doesn't matter where you are from in sim racing, it just matters if you can pedal it. And he's coming into the pit, so Stevenson going for the undercut of Felipe Olsen. He is the first of the front runners to box. Let's remain on board with him and let's see what tyres he goes on to. I would be surprised if it wasn't the C2s. Those white-walled, one-step harder compound. As Steven brings it in. Gets on the brakes for his box. Now let's see what tyres it is. And yet it is the C2, so he's going for the undercut. This is around about where I was expecting the pit window to open, judging off of the Challenger split. So now it's all, where does he come out? What can he do? If he comes out into traffic, it might not be the right call, but if he's in clear air, he might have a shout in undercutting Felipe Olsen. Dave Southard also on the C2s, but I believe he's starting on that tyre. And it looks like Stevenson is in clear air. He's just got out in front of Jordi Lauwers. There is Jordi Lauwers behind. Actually, no, apologies. That's his teammate, Toby Samper, behind. Apologies, a lap down. I think he's had a few spins. Currently in 18th place. Oh, that was very aggressive through there. There is Dave Southern in the slipstream of Simon Benoit. Too far back to think about having a go at the moment. Oh, just on the brakes too late. Carl wiggled underneath him. Coming through Luffield. Oh, we've got, everyone's coming in. Olsen, Amore and Benoit all in. Dragoon in behind. Ward in.
Yeah, I think the Oxtan car must have triggered something there, or people were literally coming to the end of their tether with those tyres.
Exactly. Where does Stevenson come out in regards to Felipe Olsen? That's the question that's on my mind.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but Southwood is on the ultimate stretch, right?
Yes, he is.
He isn't pitted.
No, he has not. And Stevenson doesn't quite get Olsen. Doesn't quite get him, unfortunately. But he's a lot closer than he was before. And he's on warm tyres. And he's got the DRS. And he's got the momentum. And he's got the ERS. And he's pulling to the outside on the run into Stowe corner. He's going to be hard on the brakes. Sweeping around the outside. And the undercut has paid off. Stevenson moves up into 7th place with a well-calculated manoeuvre there. Great stuff. And now he's got Gustavo Dalla Valle to negotiate as well. And in the bag car. And he is on some very worn softs. So I'm sure that'll be easy pickings for the Oxtan driver, and looks like the undercut was the way to go. And Stevenson can now set his sights forward. Olsen, car not quite warmed up yet, it would seem. Schilder in from P2. Oh, they're all in. Muradi, Batata, Cochrane and Schilder all in. He should have a spin.
Yeah, I think he must have.
Yeah, because he's dropped down to 4th place. Muradi's coming out already. Southern inherits the lead. Where's Cochrane? I think Schilder may have had a spin. Yeah, I think Schilder's had a spin somewhere. Because he's dropped down to net 4th. Batata's actually come out in 2nd. That's
crazy. That is...
Yeah, so it'd be Batata. Schilder's come out in front of Cochrane.
What?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Cochrane's dropped some places.
What's happened here? Okay.
Oh, I think the timer screen might be having a moment then, maybe.
No, Stevenson managed to get past Alex Cochrane.
Well, now he has. To the inside. No, Cochrane holds on. Yeah, great defender from Cochrane there. Stevenson very, very close to, I think, potentially might have been some team orders in the pit lanes. Alex Cochrane let Schilder back through. You let your driver through. Now you're going to let our driver through. In response to his manoeuvre with his driver Tarek Batata earlier. Bit of a confidence lift there through Abbey, I thought, maybe. Car just seemed to get a little bit of lift off oversteer on the way into the fast right-hander. He is on cold tyres, so that is a possibility. And Stevenson now sets aside ahead. There is your race leader, Dave Southern, on the alternate strategy. Muraddi's only 2 seconds back. Let's see him closing in. Closer and closer with every passing lap. And Southern, I mean, yeah, he's just like getting 3-4 tenths of a second through Maggots and Beckett alone. Southern is on old, worn C2s. Muraddi is on fresh, hot C2s. Schilder, meanwhile, back into P4. That would be net P3 when Southern boxes. Halligan with the fastest lap of the race, 128.250. That's a really, really strong lap. Unfortunately, we don't have any data for the Formula Trout lap record here this weekend. So this will be no Formula Trout lap record, even though I'm trying to be taking them, but I can find the actual Silverstone lap record. I can tell, I know that's faster than it, for starters. Oh no, is it? No, it's not actually. It's not faster, I lied. Somehow we're actually slower than the actual F1 cars around here. That makes a change. On board with Alex Cochrane, I am convinced there were some team orders going on there in the Griffin Gaming camp, but not my place to talk about or judge. I'm just here to talk about it and not drive. Muraddi is right on Cochrane. Look, not Southern even, apologies, not Cochrane. Muraddi there, fast up at 128.072. But a second to find if they want to set fast at the new lap records around here. Yeah, he's flying.
Oh, is that the time screen just having a moment? I think it is.
It is the time screen having a moment, yeah. Right inside of the swap places.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. That's,
done it through Stowe as well. Great call. Wow, phenomenal. That was easy pickings for the man who will be wanting to make this race his stake in the championship. Mustafa Muraddi streaks away into the distance. Already a second clear. He is a long way ahead of Batata in P3 as well. Mustafa Muraddi, well, he has just got to bring it home now, doesn't he? He's done all the hard work, done the hard bit. Being a GP driver, just needs to hit his marks, drive a nice Saturday evening drive, and then he will be alright. Southern, meanwhile, already 1.5 back from the JGP car. Simon Benoit, meanwhile, having a look to Felipe Olsen. Not close enough this time by. You know, he's there putting pressure on Stevenson as well. He's going to be looking back. He's going to be aware of the drivers, of what's going on behind. As they go around together. Schilder, 127.732, fast lap of the race. Now we're getting closer to lap record territory. Current lap records are 127 dead, held by Max Verstappen at the 70th anniversary GP last year. Of course, there was no way for him to hold the actual lap record from this year because, well, his race lasted about half a lap, which I'm definitely not salty about. David Halligan, meanwhile, dropped away over the first phase of this race, and now is trying to make up by gapping to Geordie Lowis. Lowis trying to break the toe, weaving this way and that way. Halligan not yet close. Oh no, he clipped the curb and he was braking around wide. Lucky it did spit him out, but Benoit is all over the back of Olsen. Olsen's have to go defensive to the inside. Benoit later on the brakes anyway. Used the momentum around Village to get the inside into the loop. Very classy overtake from Simon Benoit. I don't think... No, he will have DRS from the car in front, so they're both going to get DRS as well. Can Olsen fight back with the slipstream? Does he look? No, he doesn't. So it will be Benoit holding on to P7 now. And he can turn his attention to Stevenson in front. Lap 20 of 34 here in the Lioneers British Grand Prix, powered by HB Tuners. Round 5 of the Formula Trout Premier Series. And this Master Split race has just flown by. It has been incredible to watch. Samuel Ward flying as well. It's brilliant to watch. 18 of the best drivers at Assetto Corsa in the world just going absolutely at it for 34 laps. Oh, and that is a dive from Cyprian Stoyan for the Gulf Racing Club. Anthony Penn trying to fight back though. Can't quite get the traction down. Stoyan takes the position. With Penn having no friend else, just got a huge run overtake. Button well and truly placed on the run into Cobb's corner. Forces. Actually, no, he doesn't force. He keeps to the inside. So potentially we can see Stoyan having a look into Maggots. No, he doesn't. Decides to stay behind. So Anthony Penn retakes that position up into P15. He moves Tommy Ilatalo 6 seconds in front of him. He's got plenty of laps to do it if he's got the pace. Simon Benoit, meanwhile, now trying to bridge away from Felipe Olsen and turn his attention to Stevenson in front for P6. They're braking into the penultimate corner at Brooklands. Trying to stick to a much more flatter line through Luffield than Stevenson was in front. Stevenson was trying to take a double apex line, but Tata very much on it through Cobb's corner. He's 19 seconds back from Maradi. Southern has now boxed from P2. And there he is coming out now, come up behind Samuel Ward in P10, so he will come out in P11. But my goodness me, he gave the alternative strategy a good time. But yeah, Maradi's actually just made a mistake, I think, because he's just dropped 2 seconds. But there's 16 seconds ahead of Tarek Batata. That's unbelievable. That is actually phenomenal pace from Mustafa Maradi. And well, you've got at this point you've got to consider putting a bet on him to get some championship, put some decent championship results, surely. No, not even to win, you know, put a tenner on the guy to come second or something at least, because he is phenomenal. Samuel Ward trying to get a move on Giovanni Amorum. He is moving very quickly. That is a very late lunge from Samuel Ward. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. No, it's not quite done yet because Amorum's got... Oh, they come together. Banging wheels. Amorum's goes airborne for a brief moment, but retakes the position as a result. But Ward not quite done yet. To the outside round Brooklands. Sweeps through. I don't know if there's damage to either car, and I don't know how Morum's going to feel about that move either. He may not be happy. There may be a steward's protest coming in post-race. But it will be taking the position. Samuel Ward on board with your Season 7 champion. 13-time race winner Andreas Schilder. Trying to chase down Tarek Batata. Desperately trying to chase down Tarek Batata. He's got a lot of pace on board that Griffin car. And right now you can see just how precise he is with the steering wheel. You will not find a smooth and more precise driver in Formula Trout than Andreas Schilder. Just look how he turns in. It's one movement and then he just, no minor corrections in the wheel. He just finds it. Every time I say that, commentators curse. That is the luckiest half spin in the history of Formula Trout. Because the angle of the track and he comes back perfect on. In real life, his floor would be in a million pieces after he clattered that sausage curb. Oh, I just need to stop talking about people because I just commentators curse people. Telepathic. It's genuinely telepathic. Oh my goodness me. Andreas Schilder's a lucky boy there. That's Benoit down the inside of Stevenson with a very late lunge. Stevenson trying to fight back. But Benoit gets the position. Oh, and forces Stevenson out. Felipe Olsen's going to get past Stevenson as well. Because Stevenson's had to back off on the corner exit to not run onto the gravel. Olsen's right there with him. I think Stevenson may just hold on to the position though. He will indeed hold on to P6 just about. Olsen will be just behind him though, half a second separating him. He'll get the DRS coming out of Chapel. Coming down the Hangar Straight on the run into Stowe, named after the prestigious school that is not far from the circuit. If you follow one of the back roads to Silverstone, you can see the school. It's a big long drive on it. It's a very impressive sight, it must be said. But can Felipe Olsen conjure up an even more impressive sight with a dazzling overtake for us on Steven Stevenson? Just have to wait and see. He's actually dropped back a little bit, coming through that this middle sector. Going through Abbey, just absolutely flat out in these cars. Not even a confidence lift on high fuel loads. Obscene. 10 laps to go here in the Lioneers British Grand Prix, powered by HP tuners. And Giovanni Amorim getting a little bit twerky, getting a little bit sideways, coming out of the loop. But he's got a big run on Sammy Ward. Sammy Ward's already going defensive for Giovanni Amorim. Look at the momentum the Bag Motorsport driver's got. He's going to try and hang it to the inside. No, Ward firmly shuts the door. Just does not, compromises his entry to not give any space for Giovanni Amorim. And now Amorim has to worry about Sutter because his entry was compromised as well. Sutter's got a big run on the way to Cobb's Corner. In the middle of the road is Giovanni Amorim. No, Sutter can do nothing for the time being. Bear in mind, Sutter on the alternative strategy as well. He's on a softer compounded tyres on the C3, side by side, into Maggins and Beckett. Oh, what a move by Dave Southern into P10. Take a bow, that was phenomenal. Bravery, commitment and trust in your colleagues out on the track at its absolute finest. From Dave Southern, there's Jan Dragoon and Felipe Olsen. Meanwhile, Olsen looking to the inside. Was there contact? I don't think so. Dragoon holding on to P7 just about. Oh my goodness me, this race is just twist and turn after twist and turn as they head through Abbey. Both drivers slightly wide, even wider from Felipe Olsen through turn 2. Andreas Schilder very close to the back of Tarek Batata now as well. 0.5 of a second separating them, lining up to get a move done, potentially coming into Copse, if not down into Stowe. Look at that, just following through Luffield gently. Does he have a run? Does he have a run into Copse? He does. Can he maintain that run through Copse? Oh, that's very wide. The dirty air, the front end just washing out underneath him. Maggots, Beckett into Chapel. Oh, that was really nice through Chapel. He's going to get a huge run now. It was messy from Batata into Chapel, and that was we're taking it back, and Schilder's to the inside. Schilder gets the move done before the braking zone. Batata gets it slightly wrong through Chapel, and that is why this league is so competitive. You make a slight mistake, a slight error, and you are finished. And Andreas Schilder, one of the most successful drivers in track history, has had him for breakfast, but then again he makes the mistake, and Batata goes back through. And Batata makes a mistake and they swap places. Then Schilder makes a mistake and they swap places. You have to be so precise. You're on a knife edge of performance. You cannot afford to get it wrong. The performance of the top guys here in Formula Trout, there is nothing to separate them. It is genuinely obscene. Genuinely. I mean, Kilgore, you tried to do the Hockenheim race in the Challenger split. The one race we did run at Hockenheim before we decided to postpone it later in the season due to server issues, and you were in the Challenger split, and even in the Challenger split, you know, it's tough.
Man, these guys, I don't know, I can't imagine. Like,
oh, shit on the grass!
Yeah, the amount of skill and effort it takes, just finally that you tend to have that competitive edge of your rivals. Yeah. Hats off to him.
Schilder, very, very lucky boy there coming through. Copse really got away with it. But yeah, these guys are the best of the best in Assetto Corsa sim racing. You will not find a more competitive league out there than here in Formula Trout and here in the Master Split. And here's a driver trying to make his name in the Master Split, Jan Dragoon. Looking to the inside of someone. Benoit decides against it. The pace is definitely there for Dragoon. The car, you can tell, it's just started to come to him over the last few laps. Started to warm to him. He's been struggling with it all race long. He's just going backwards, but now he's finally confident in the motor underneath him. And he's finally confident he can try and challenge Simon Benoit for P7, or P6, apologies. Bit wide into turn 3. As well into turn 4. Not quite the exit he would have wanted out of the loop. Gilda, meanwhile, though, back on Batata. Let's see if he can make the move done for real this time. Onto the start-finish straight they go. Batata already weaving, trying to break the toe. The American driver doing everything he can. The German behind him, though. One of the most experienced, one of the most successful drivers on this grid. Actually, no, he is the most successful driver on this grid because Max Yinger isn't here. Hasn't been all the season. And now look how close they are. There's surely a move coming. He's got the DRS. Look at Batata. Batata's all the way to the inside. Schilder to the outside. On the right to Stowe. The move's done before the corner once again. It's Andreas Schilder back into P2 with a brilliant move.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to keep his championship chances alive, then, well, it goes either way, really. These two contenders are stealing points for one another right now.
It was brilliant from Andreas Schilder once again, and this time he didn't make the mistake coming through club. This time he does hold on to P2. Oh, he's run slightly wide through the loop though. Batata may have an opportunity to try and slide back down the inside into the penultimate corner at Brooklands.
Jan Dragoon, you might have mentioned it previously, I might have just not heard, but yeah, he's down to P11 now. That's a shame to see.
I think Dragoon's made a mistake somewhere, potentially, because he was fighting with a Southard and the likes earlier, so I think Dragoon may have had an off. Schilder, though, maintains his lead in this battle for P2 and puts Batata firmly behind him.
Just about to see Alex Cochrane in the distance.
I mean, we can't see anybody in the distance anymore. There we go. On board with Andreas Schilder. Your season 7 champion, 13 race wins to his name in Formula Trout. Greg Batata, of course, a returnee to the series. 1 win so far this season in Australia. Currently leading the championship, but if they finish as they do, he will be no longer. Actually, will he? It would be like 1 point in it between him and Maradi, actually. I don't know, my maths is bad. Who's got fastest lap? Not. If Maradi gets fastest lap, they'll be tied on points. Batata will be leading by count back. No, Maradi will be leading by count back. Yeah. Maradi will have taken 3 wins this season. My goodness me. Batata isn't going to give up without a fight, I'm sure. Still going to be hounding Schilder the whole way home. As they head onto the start-finish straight once again on the run into Copse. Not even a lift through there, is it? You can hear the revs drop because of the friction and the change in speed, because of the change in direction, not because they're lifting their foot off the throttle pedal. Absolutely insane.
So Schilder currently has the fastest lap. As you said, Tarek will lead by 1 point as the result stands. So yeah, quite interesting.
All because Mustafa and Maradi's have 1 DNF.
Yeah, I mean,
Maradi, if we finish as we do now, Maradi has 3 race wins to Batata's 1. But because of that 1 DNF last time out in Baku, he's 1 point behind the championship. Go figure.
I mean, as always, I believe in the drop results. So 2 races, 2 of the drivers' worst scoring results will be dropped from their overall. Correct me if I'm wrong. You're the race league owner. You should know this.
I mean, yeah, you should know this, to be honest, Kilgore, but Go ask Carlos, he's the one who runs this particular segment of the league. See there, all the cars in all their glory coming down the Hangar Straight. No, wait, no, that's not the Hangar Straight, it's the other one, Wellington, that's the one. It's been 30 laps, 64 laps overall, including the Challenger split race, and I still can't get the straights right. Because the start-finish is in the wrong place.
While there's still 4 laps around this track, can we just comment on how beautiful it looks?
It is a very nice looking track.
The colours just pop, you know, we got this orange, white combo from, you know, Pioneers and Oxygen. Then you've got the powered by Fender, Render, is it?
Race Render by HP Tuners. Well, it's powered by HP Tuners, and then well, I can explain if you want. I'm probably due to anyway. Or I get told off because I sponsored them on behalf. That's Dalla Valle running wide there. Yeah, I'm sponsoring this race on behalf of HP Tuners, and I got told I needed to shield them, so may as well. HP Tuners are so this race is of course the Lioneers British Grand Prix, powered by HP Tuners. Lioneers being one of the teams down in the Challenger split. HP Tuners being a company I sometimes work for that provide the tools to enable ECU tuning in road cars. Case HP Tuners, horsepower tuners, get it powered by HP Tuners. That's why I thought that was quite clever. Probably wasn't.
It's great. I love it.
Thank you. And then some of the apps that we do is Race Render and Track Edit, and you can sync it up to an app in your phone, and it does stuff that takes like 10 minutes to explain. Oh, and that's Southern on Benoit there. And basically, because it has the words race and track in it, I gave it to Christoph Berzer, who's the one who does all the skins for the track, and he just kind of plastered it everywhere because it has race and track written on it. That's not even the main product we do. The actual main product we do, we don't actually have any of it because it has neither the word race nor track in it. But it's yeah, it's sponsored by Lioneers and powered by HP Tuners this weekend here for round 5 of the Formula Trout Premier Series. So, yeah, it's of course all the fun's going into helping to running the league as well, which is always great to see. Benoit trying to chase down Southern once again. Southern, of course, on that alternate strategy, which has proven to be quite successful. He's up to P7, and he's got his sights on Felipe Olsen ahead as well in P6. And you know what? Ahead of Olsen, Stevenson ain't too far either. He's got 3 laps to do it. And already, oh, that's a lap car. Actually, I was getting excited then. That may be. Oh, we've lost Tommy Ilatalo. Tommy Ilatalo has retired from the race. That's a big shame. At the race where, as it stands, Morelli's going to be jumping in up into P9 in the all-time win list with 4, which puts him equal with Oscar Williams and Jaap Wagenvoort. But Jaap Wagenvoort gets special priority because he's won a Sprint Series championship, which is the other series that we run here at Formula Trout, and Oscar Williams because he's the Welsh wizard and he's been doing this for much longer than Mustafa has.
Quite a nice list then. You can make that public.
I can make it public right now if you want, because I've got it here and it is accurate to date.
Yeah.
So, here you go then. General stats. Most wins as of 2020, as of this morning. Most wins. The wins is Premier only. The championships, we include all championships here at Trout. So if you win a Sprint Series championship, that counts as, we say, oh yeah, you're a Trout champion. That's how we work it here. So Max Younger, 21 Premier Series wins to his names with 4 championships, 2 Premier Series titles, 1 Sprint Series title, and the original Codemaster title as well from when we started running the series way back in the day. Was it F1 2016?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. Andreas Schilder is second with 13 wins and 1 championship to his name, champion back in Season 7. Plank Hughes in P3 with 11 wins and a Premier Series championship to his name. Paul Magzai, 8 wins and 2 times a Premier Series champion. Also the only back-to-back champion we've ever had in Trout's history. 2 Premier Series titles to his names. Then Max Hammerlink, your champion of last season, 8 wins. And obviously champion Ermis Rees with 5 wins, Jaap Wagenvoort with 4 wins and a Sprint Series championship, Oscar Williams, the Welsh wizard himself, with 4 wins, Tommy Ilatalo with 3 wins, and Mustafa Moradi with 3 wins. And well, unless something goes drastically wrong in the next lap, it's soon to be 4, and moving up to equaling the man who Maxi Younger claims is the fastest guy in sim racing, Oscar Williams. Doesn't actually like racing the Premier Series that often because he doesn't like the Formula Hybrid cars, but you'll see him around a lot in the Sprint Series, and he's a tough cookie to crack, I'll tell you that much. Very, very talented, very, very naturally quick. But then again, so is Mustafa Muradi. In the roughly a season now that he's had up in the Challenger split, he's spent last season improving, and then finally got a win at the third last round at the Hungary, and now coming into this year, got himself a fresh new ride at Hinga GP, and he is setting his sights on the title, and now he's really staking his claim. He's on the final lap of the race here at Silverstone for the Lion-Ears British Grand Prix, powered by HB Tuner. Samuel Ward getting a bit sideways there, and getting even more sideways coming out of the loop. And Mustafa Muradi, we're going to have to talk about the guy because he is changing the game here in Formula Trout. I mean, Kilgore, you've been around here longer than I have because, I mean, you're the league owner. This guy's coming along and he's genuinely changing how I view this league.
I mean, at the moment, there's just no one can touch him. It seems to be this ongoing thing where one guy seems to just pull ahead depending on what the car is. And that's not to put the guy down, but Muradi he's in a league of his own currently. I mean, to come from the Challenger split last season to the Master split, and I'm going to make this short because he's just about to come around the finish line. But yeah, he's in a masterclass of his own.
He is indeed. Once again, it's the man from Iran. It's Mustafa Muradi who takes his 3rd win of the season here at Silverstone with a masterful drive to take a fantastic lights to flag victory. That was absolutely superbly managed from the Younger GP hotshot. And well, if he wasn't looking at the championship before, he certainly will be now. His 3rd win of the season. He moves up to 9th in the all-time win list. Andreas Schilder comes home in P2. He did everything he could, but just wasn't quite fast enough today. Tarek Batata continues his good form and maintains his championship lead by 1 point with P3. Alex Cochrane comes home in P4, a very good result for him. Steven Stevenson comes away from Baku with a win, comes away here with a P5. Pretty good going for him. Dave Southard is P6 after executing that alternate strategy to absolute perfection. Simon Benoit, oh, hang on, no, maybe, oh no, people have left, so it's messed the thing up. Simon Benoit was, oh no, I don't know where it is. Oh, stop leaving the server. Oh no, I can't tell where anyone is because people have left the server. No, there was your top 3 anyway. There we go. Muradi, Schilder, Batata, thank you, Kilgore. Muradi, Schilder, Batata is your top 3. Followed by Cochrane, Stevenson, Southern was 6. Simon Benoit was 7. Felipe Olsen managed to hold on to 8th. Giovanni Amorum, after some early race blues, comes home in P9. Jan Dragoon, after that spin, managed to recover to claim the final point in P10. David Halligan just missed out in P11. Is that Toby Sanford upside down? I think it is. Toby Sanford's just been violently killed in an accident. Samuel Ward brings it home in P12. Cyprian Stoyan is P3. Dalla Valle on his return to Formula Trout is in P14. Jordi Lawis is 15. Anthony Penn is 16. And Toby Sanford is last on the road in P17. And then unfortunately we did lose Tommy Ilatalo and Agnes Rositis. Now it's time, of course, for a few interviews. And we're going to speak with a man who came home in P5, Steven Stevenson. Steve, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Oh, we most certainly can. Well, P5, I mean, obviously after that win last time out, I mean, your idea of what a good result is going to be a bit skewed. But, you know, P5, a very, very good result and a very, very good drive. You must be feeling pretty happy about that one.
Yeah, I think last time I got a little lucky with the safety car and everything, but P5 is pretty good considering it was on merit this time around.
I mean, indeed it was. A very, very fine performance indeed. And, well, why not just run it through how it was? You know, you were out there just doing your best, doing what you did. You know, it was, I wouldn't say it was a quiet race. It was uneventful enough that You know, there was no major moments for you. You know, you had a few battles here and there, but you know, it was all pretty exciting racing. Nothing too stupid.
Yeah, the only regret I have is I went wide when I overtook Alex when he was coming out of the pits, and that cost me a position. But you know, P5's still pretty good.
Indeed it is. And, well, a big haul of points for yourself and Oxtan as well. You know, I mean, your team boss is here. Do you wanna say anything to him, or?
Go. What's 2 plus 2?
I think it's 4.
Alright, I thought it was 5.
Oh,
Pretty sure it's 4.
And that is the level that Formula Trout Premier Series Master Split Team Oxtan Racing is operating at. Thanks for joining us, Stephen. And yeah, great result out there. A very well-deserved P5.
Thank you.
And now, let's get P2 and let's get Andreas Schilder. And Andreas, can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear.
Awesome. Well, you gave it your all out there today, and you were rewarded with P2. You know, you could tell you were really pushing out there. You know that you must be pretty satisfied with that result.
Yes, first podium of the season, so that's always a good thing. Yeah, missed a couple of races, but this race went pretty well. I had a little spin at Chapel, and yeah, it was at lap 3:15, so I wanted to box anyway. So, but it all worked out. I didn't lose any position because of it, I think so.
Oh, I mean, bear in mind you've missed a couple of rounds as well, and you've come back in. You've got a great couple of results. You know, yeah, surely you must be feeling pretty happy with how this season's gone so far. You know, a 9th in the first race was decent. 17th in Italy, not the best, but you did get fastest lap, and now you've got yourself a podium here at Silverstone. You know, ultimately, bear in mind you've missed a few rounds. This season's going okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty happy with the result today. I think I made a little bit too many mistakes, but yeah, well, what can I say? Probably a bit rusty, yeah.
Well, you were rusty enough to come home in P2, that's for sure. I mean, if you're rusty and coming home in P2, then God knows what I am. But yeah, great performance out there, Andreas. Thanks for joining us, and yeah, I hope you feel pretty satisfied with that. It was great fun watching you out on track today.
Thank you, guys, and cheers. Have a nice evening.
And you too, my friend. That was Andreas Schilder, P2. And last but not least, it's the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Cochrane. Alex, my first question. Did you let Tarek Batasa through?
No.
Come on.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I was using a lot of my battery to try to keep, I think it was Dragoon behind me. And then I'm not sure what happened. I think Tarek got past Dragoon, and then I was like, right, okay, I'll be safe for a bit. And then I tried to use battery through Mackett and Beckett's because I used that strategy last year. But unfortunately, yeah, that didn't work. And yeah, he was too close, which didn't work. And I didn't have any battery to, I couldn't boost down the straight because I ran out of battery trying to defend from Dragoon. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed at that.
So, I mean, all right, next question. Did you let Tarek, but not Tarek, did you let Andreas past in the pits?
No.
Did you have damage repair?
I missed my pit box.
Oh.
It's always silly. I mean, to be honest, I probably would have let him through anyway. He had better pace, and I'll hold my hands up to that. I think he was a second a lap faster, like 2 laps after we pitted, so he would have got past anyway. But yeah, I didn't purposefully let him through. I missed my pit box.
Oh, Alex.
That's just one of those things, isn't it?
Alex, you disappoint me so. But coming home, P4, you were running in the podium earlier on as well. That's very decent result. I mean, bear in mind, you come into a new team this season with Griffin Gaming. You've already got, that's 2 fourth places, a 3rd place, another points finish as well. I believe you're still holding on to 3rd place in the championship as well. You must be pretty happy with how the season's going so far.
Yeah, definitely. I really struggled with the car at the start of the season. I know Bahrain in particular was really, really tough. Both the Griffin cars finished outside the points there. But yeah, I've definitely been pleasantly surprised by my results. The last few rounds, qualifying's been a bit, but today I managed to qualify P5, which I was quite happy with. Seem to never be able to qualify higher than P5. That is my
limit.
Yeah, every time it's P5 is the best I seem to be able to do. But yeah, I had a pretty good start. As you said, I was up to P3. I was surprised as well because I know went around the outside of turn 1, which I was surprised at, and then Dragoon just had a terrible exit onto out of Chapel onto the Hanger Straight and just managed to go around the outside. I did not expect him to be so slow there. So, yeah, I mean, that was obviously great for Andreas because it meant he could pull away. It was unfortunate about the mistake later on, but, it is what it is. He did finish P2 in the end, so it's okay.
Well, indeed. And I mean, looking forward as well, we've got the rerun of Hockenheim in 2 weeks' time. Are you feeling excited for that?
Yeah, 100%. I know I was quite disappointed when Hockenheim was postponed because I was really, really happy with the setup there. The car felt fantastic and was setting some really, really competitive lap times. But yeah, obviously the race never happened. I just want to say as well, thanks to Andreas for the setup for this race because he provided it the other day and it was it was just a joy to drive. It was so pointy but stable at the same time through some of the fast corners. It was the best the car has felt all season. So yeah, I just want to say thanks to Andreas for that.
Well, shout out to Andreas Schilder for setting up the car like a wizard then. Thanks for joining us, Alex. And of course, thank you for assisting it with the commentary and the Challenger split race as well. And yeah, great performance out there. A very well-deserved P4.
Thanks. Thank you for streaming.
No worries at all, my friend. That was P4 of Alex Cochrane. And that's all we've got time for by the looks of things. That is it. So thanks for joining us here. Kilgore, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming alongside and streaming again.
Yeah, no worries. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you for having me, and thank you for doing your thing.
Right, it's just talking, isn't it? But yeah, thank you very much for joining us for round 5 of the Formula Trout Premier Series, the Lions British Grand Prix, powered by HP Tuners. And well, if you were listening in the interview with Alex, it's the rerun of Hockenheim, the race that never was, in 2 weeks' time. And well, I'm sure that one's going to be just as exciting as this one was. So we'll see